Today I want to talk about the Battle of Berlin, and I want to talk about it, of course, in the sense of World War II zombies, because, as you guys know, the Shadow Throne takes place during the Battle of Berlin, and much different from real life, where the Soviets showed up and pretty much took Berlin, of course causing the Nazis to lose the war, and of course Hitler to commit suicide. But that is no longer the case in this story. Instead, Hitler escapes, and on top of that, the zombies that Dr. Straub brought to Berlin were able to, at least at the start, to be able to fend off the Soviets. And this would make you think at first that the Soviets actually lost this battle and the Nazis actually won. But that may not be entirely true, because when you progress through the Easter egg, you're actually helping the Soviets, or at least the Soviets that are still there. We're not too sure how many are left, but you are helping them because you are taking down the main blimp where Dr. Straub is, and of course this is what you succeed at doing during the Easter egg. So does that mean that the tide was turned back into the Soviets' favor and they're the ones who actually ended up winning the war, or at least the battle? It doesn't mean they won the war because Hitler is still alive somewhere, but did they actually win this time just because we took out the main blimp, or did they still end up losing because all of the zombies that were still there? Because there were also a lot of blimps still dropping off a ton of stuff on the battlefield, so this doesn't guarantee that the Soviets actually ended up winning. But of course, there's not only that option. We don't only have the option of the Soviets winning or ending up winning and the Nazis ending up winning. What is, I believe, to be the most likely candidate is that the zombies just won by themselves and nobody's really left there. Because if you guys haven't heard from Cameron Dayton, and actually a really good watch is actually the Zombros podcast that they just released today, at least of recording this video, which is really cool, and I got really excited for this storyline. This is the main reason I'm making this, but we actually heard from Cameron Dayton that the zombies don't exactly work for Straub or the Nazis. They're on their own goal and have their own people controlling them, excuse me. And we don't exactly know who those people are, at least currently. It may have to do with something with the Raven Lords or Barbarossa, but we still don't exactly know what's going on there. So maybe it wasn't the Soviets who ended up winning or the Nazis. It could have been whoever are currently controlling the zombies, or maybe they don't even have to be controlling the zombies. The zombies could just win all by themselves. And this leads off with a ton of possibilities, because as you guys saw at the ending cutscene, the zombies were still there. In fact, Moichler, I believe that's how you say it. A lot of people were making fun of my Moochler, how I was saying it, but hopefully a Moichler is how it's pronounced correctly. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But that showed up, and it seemed like more and more zombies were showing up with the ending, so it would lead me to believe that the zombies are really just taking over Berlin and probably going to spread further on than Berlin after this. But of course we don't know that for sure, and we'll have to see in the future. But I just want to know what happened with the end of this battle, because really we have no answers for this, and I really get interested in this question now, which is something I wasn't really interested in before I actually watched the Zombros podcast with Cameron Dayton, because he says that now the story is no longer going to be something that could have happened in the shadows of history. They have now emerged and they have completely embraced alternate history. In fact, this is a video I made, I believe, yesterday, just talking about how we are no longer in the shadow of history, and now we are going to be inside just the forefront of history, which I actually made the video before the podcast was released, so it's cool that I called that. So I'd actually like to see what's happening here, but I'd like to hear what you guys think about this whole situation. Not only this battle, because really this battle was just a way of me really talking about this alternate history and showing you guys how different the story is going to be moving on forward. But I'd still like to hear what you guys would want to say about the battle, what you guys actually think the outcome was. But I'd also like to hear what you guys thought of or are thinking of the future of this story, and how we are now embracing this alternate history where they could really do anything they want with it moving forward. They are no longer going to be stuck by the restraints of the shadow of history on these islands that were obliterated, or maybe this place that didn't really exist but kind of could have been wiped off the map. These are things that are going to be at the forefront. I know I already said this, but the forefront of history. And I just like to hear what you guys are thinking about this, because I really am excited for the story very much, and especially after watching that podcast with Cameron Dayton, it was just so cool. I just honestly can't wait. But anyways, the last thing I could end this off with is that let's get Tell 'em on Zombros. that is our next goal. I'm getting on Zombros, and then everybody will be happy. But besides that, if you guys did enjoy the video, then go ahead, do all the normal YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, bell, share, and especially bell, because that is just so important. I know I've said this on like every single video that I've recorded in this past few weeks, but really bell is just so important now. But anyways, I'm gonna go, and I will catch you guys on my next video.